Hello and welcome, my name is Kyle FtW and welcome back to another Black Ops Cold War video. Today, I am finally bringing you guys my full in-depth beta review. As you guys know, the beta was going on last weekend as well as the weekend before and actually ended on a Monday. And I apologize for not getting the video up yesterday. My dad was working in the basement all day yesterday doing some stuff around the house, so I wasn't actually able to make that video due to the fact that he was working all day downstairs, which is obviously where I record videos. But nonetheless, I am back here today to talk about the Black Ops Cold War beta and give my honest 100% feedback. You guys already know that I always keep it real here on the channel. If I like something, I will always say it. If I don't like something, I will always say it. So if you guys have been around the channel long enough, you guys know that I am always honest and I will never say something is good if it's not, and something is bad if it's actually good. So now that we have all that out of the way, there's quite a few things I want to talk about in this video, but honestly, compared to my alpha review video, they have changed a lot of the game, and it's actually kind of funny. They actually took some of my advice from my alpha review video and put it actually into the beta. Now, I doubt that any of them actually found the video because it's, as I said, I'm a super small channel, but they changed the iron sights of the weapons, for example. They changed the score in TDM, for example, and they also put in the stim, which is something that I suggested in my review video, but for the alpha. But anyways, we are going to be talking about the good and the bad, and then some of the worries that I have about the game, because as I said in my alpha, I don't really have any ugly things to say about this game, in all honesty, which is very, very cool. So starting off here with the good, the first thing I wanted to start off with within the good is the weapon balance. I really like the weapon balance within Black Ops Cold War. In classic Treyarch style, the weapon balance is absolutely fantastic. You can use any AR in the game, you can use any SMG in the game, and do well against any other weapon in the game. I just love how I can pick, a random SMG. For example, I used the 3-round burst SMG in my last live episode, but also in my, throughout me just playing the beta, and the gun is really solid, and I really enjoy using it. And I can use the AK-74U and do well. I can use the MP5 and do well. Obviously, there's some very strong weapons like the MP5 in the SMG category and the XM4 in the assault rifle category, but honestly, the only really overpowered weapon that I could find within the beta of the game was the MP5, and I assume that they will tone that weapon down as time goes on. But even during the course of the beta, they nerfed the Uzi, which was a very powerful weapon initially, and which is just really cool that they're listening to the community so well this year, because I mean, the opposite can be said about Infinity Ward, because last year Infinity Ward didn't listen to the community at all. They made a game surrounding, they made a game for bad players. They didn't change any of the maps. They didn't change any of the, the way the weapons act. They didn't change very much at all. And the fact that Treyarch is listening to us so much already is definitely a good sign for the continuation of the game. So the weapon balance is the first really good thing I can say about the game. I love how I can use any single weapon I want. We'll talk about the snipers a little bit later, but I'm not counting the snipers in the weapon balance. I'm kind of counting ARs, SMGs, LMGs, etc. The next thing that I really like about the beta was Combined Arms Assault. You guys already know how much I loved Combined Arms Assault. Now, unfortunately, I didn't really play that much within the beta weekend 2 due to the fact that there was a Combined Arms mosh pit where they were playing Combined Arms Domination. I think Combined Arms Domination is just a bad mode in my opinion, but Combined Arms Assault is absolutely fantastic. It is definitely still my favorite mode in the entire beta. The 6v6 modes that I enjoyed the most were TDM and Kill Confirmed and Domination, but as for Combined Arms Assault, that mode was insanely fun. I really enjoyed it. Every single time I played it, I loved it. I even got a gameplay throughout the last weekend playing Combined Arms Assault. It's just such a fun mode. I absolutely love it, and it is definitely probably my favorite mode in the entire game. I just really hope that they bring a 6v6 version of this, because it was just a very fun game mode to play. I really enjoyed it. Next, I have Stim in my good, returning back from Black Ops 4 as well as Modern Warfare. Stim is the only way I can play Call of Duty at this point. I love the idea of Stim. I mean, they put it in Black Ops 4 as kind of a, here, have manual healing for once in Call of Duty for the very first time, and it is a game-changing thing for me. As you guys know, I'm a very heavy rush player, and I always find myself getting in a bad situation where I get into a gunfight, I'm weak, and then I don't have enough time to heal all the way before I get back into the next gunfight. And the fact that Stim is back in the game is amazing because I can get weak, I can instantly heal myself back up to full health, and then get into a gunfight within a couple of seconds of me getting in that first gunfight, and I absolutely love it. Stim is also very, very balanced in this game to where it is actually unlimited. As long as you stay alive, it is unlimited. So for example, if I use Stim, it has a recharge rate, and I will say though that if you do get weak while that recharge is happening, by the time, or if you use it and then get weak again, that little recharge timer will be finished before you heal. And I found myself accidentally using Stim when I'm at like 90% health, which is kind of a mistake on my part, but for the most part, Stim is just such a great feature, and I am so happy that it was back in the beta because it is just such a great feature within the game. I mean, as you guys know, I'm a very, very rush heavy player, and the fact that Stim is back just makes me really, really happy because it rewards rushing very, very heavily, because you aren't punished, you don't get into a gunfight, you have to sit and wait for 5 minutes to get all the way back up to health, and then you can go fight again. I love the fact that Stim is back. That's one of the biggest problems I had with the alpha was I hated waiting for my health to recover, so the fact that that's back is awesome as well. And now the good things about the map, I really like the map Moscow, Satellite, Crossroads, and this is going to be a controversial one, I know. I actually like Miami as well. So starting off with Moscow, this is definitely the most Treyarch-like map in the entire game. 3 lanes, classic map, has really, really good flow. The odds of getting shot in the back on that map are very, very low. I really, really, really like Moscow. It's a great map. In my personal opinion, does it compare to maps like Raid, Standoff, Slums, etc.? Not really, but it's still a good map in my personal opinion, and it's definitely better than any map within Modern Warfare. So that's one map. The only downside that I will say about Moscow is that there are too many buildings in there, so the airstreaks are kind of useless, but again, I'll talk about streaks a little bit later in the video. Next, we have the map Satellite, which I did like as well. For the most part, I did have some issues on that map, of course, where the visibility was bad, but I'll talk about that later as well. But as for Satellite, it flows pretty well. The only downside to that map is I don't really like the levels of it. You know, there's these tall rock formations that you can stand on, and then there's underground areas or underground quote-unquote areas where you can kind of go below those tall rock forms, and you can get shot from below, you can get shot from above very, very easily, and I just don't really like that too much. But overall, Satellite is a pretty good map in my opinion. Next, we have Crossroads, which is definitely my favorite 12v12 map besides Cartel. Crossroads is just a great map for the mode that it's in. It's wide open, streaks do really, really well on it, it's a lot of fun, the spawns are good, and Crossroads is great. The only map, I'll talk about the maps I didn't like in the bad category, but Crossroads is also a good map. And Miami, why do I like Miami? Well, I'm not a giant fan of Miami, and it's not my favorite map in the game by any means, but the thing about Miami that I like is that I always tend to do well on this map. I have no idea why I do well on this map more than any of the other maps, but on Miami, I'm always doing well. I've gotten multiple chopper gunners on that map. My best gameplay of the beta, that unfortunately I didn't record, of course, was on Miami. A control game on Miami where I got a chopper gunner, got a lot of kills, very little amount of deaths, had a lot of fun on that map. So for some reason, I like that map a lot. I know it's huge. I know it sometimes doesn't have very good flow at all. But I actually really liked Miami because I always did well on it. And normally the maps that you do well on are the maps that you like the most. So that's kind of why I like Miami a lot. So those are the maps out of the way. The next good thing I have here is the FOV slider. The FOV slider is an amazing, amazing thing to come back. The only problem I ever had, or the only reason I was thinking about switching to PC this year for Black Ops Cold War was obviously there's pluses to PC with the graphics and stuff like that, but the FOV slider was one of the big things. I love having the high FOV. I mean, when we go into my Evolution of Call of Duty series, you'll see me be playing on PC for the most part because I love high FOV. It's a great addition to the game. You are able to see more around you and stuff like that, although you have to be careful and get used to it because enemies that are normally pretty large will end up being a lot smaller, so you have to keep that in mind if you have your FOV very, very high. But the FOV slider is just a great thing, and I have no idea why it hasn't been in COD forever. I mean, they said they couldn't do it, but I know that they could have, they just didn't. And the fact that the FOV slider is in the game is just an amazing thing. And I really, really enjoy using the FOV slider, and it's just a great feature, and is really the only reason that I would ever have switched to PC. Now that it's on console Call of Duty, there's no reason for me to switch to PC, which is pretty dang awesome. My last good thing that I'm going to say is that they actually made more score in TDM and lowered the score for the kill streaks within the beta towards the end of it, which was amazing. I mean, as I said, my biggest complaint during the alpha and beta week, during the alpha, was that when you went on a streak in TDM, you got very, very little score. I mean, I was able to get a couple of chopper gunners in TDM, or actually one chopper gunner in TDM, and because it's so hard to get anyways. But the fact that they upped the score per kill in TDM is just a huge change, and is nothing but a positive thing. I think it's 50 kills for 1 kill, 100 points for 2 kills, so you get a 50 plus bonus, but then every kill after that is 250 score, which is just amazing, and I'm so happy that they upped the score within TDM. Again, we'll talk about some of this the score later in the bad. And speaking of the bad, I apologize that my voice is all doing that, but my voice is pretty dead. Now let's go ahead and jump into the bad. The things I didn't like, the things I would like to see improved come the launch of the game. And honestly, the list is a little bit smaller than it was. My alpha video was the bad, was the good had a little bit in it, and the bad had a giant list of like 11 things. So, but the list is much more smaller this year. I only have 6 things wrote down for the bad things about the beta, but I also will add one more in my head. So starting off here with the very first thing, we have the visibility. The visibility in Black Ops Cold War is not good at all. The amount of times, even me, a 20-year-old with good eyes, I've shot at my teammates multiple times. I mean, I can't imagine being an older Call of Duty player in my 30s and 40s with worse eyes, trying to decipher who's your enemy and who's your teammate. It is such a pain in the butt not being able to know who your teammates are. I said this in the alpha. I don't know why, and I really think that this will change by the full launch of the game, but I don't know why both your team and the enemy team can use the same operators. It makes the game so confusing. Imagine if there's 6 woods on one team, there's a couple woods on your team. You're going to be shooting at your teammates more than the enemies, because of the fact that the only way you know if there's an enemy there is if they have a red bar over them. That really needs to change. They need to do just like what happened with Modern Warfare, because I mean, Modern Warfare, the visibility is hard because, you know, some of the characters look similar. For example, Kruger and the Grinch, I think is his name. They both have very identical base skins, but at least you know that there are different operators per team. In Black Ops Cold War, there's no deciphering. You just have to kind of guess. Obviously, the enemies that are closer to you and that are shooting at you, oh, well, they're shooting at me, I better shoot back at them. But they need to make it so that it is, you know, team based. So for example, if I'm if I'm on the Russian team or I'm on the Cuban team, for example, they will switch. You know, the operators will be Cuban and Russian, for example. And then if I'm on the CIA team or the MI6 team, I can use the CIA and the MI6 operators. I really hope that they do that change by the time the game comes out, because it's going to be painfully hard to see people. But obviously, as you play the game, you will be able to decipher better. And I played, I think, about 30 hours of the beta, I think, or not quite 30. I think I played about 20-25 hours of the beta. So I definitely got a lot of experience with the beta, and as the beta went on, I started to not shoot at my teammates as much and started to kind of figure it out. But the visibility definitely needs to be changed, and they definitely need to have operators be based off of the team that you're on, not you can use any operator you want for any team, because I mean, obviously that doesn't make sense either way, because, you know, why would woods kill woods? It just doesn't make any sense. So hopefully they do that by the full game, so that you actually know who the heck you're shooting at and you know who the enemy teams are. But if I could honestly say one big thing that I would love to see changed is have different operators, but if you're going to have the same operators per each team, put some red lights on the enemy team, because that's what they did in Black Ops 4, and I never had any problems deciphering who my teammates were, who the enemies were, and that was just a great change. And so definitely the visibility needs to be changed when the game comes out, because again, it's just very hard to see people and decipher who's your team and who are the enemies. Next thing, sliding and jumping are way too overpowered in this game. It is just ridiculous. I had a gunfight in the alpha where this guy, literally in the full gunfight, he slid 5 times in one gunfight. He slid to the left, slid to the right, slid to the left, slid to the right. It was annoying. It is so frustrating dealing with these guys that are sliding all the time, that are jumping all the time. They need to nerf it. They already nerfed drop shotting. I mean, it's very hard to drop shot. It's actually borderline impossible to drop shot in this game now. They need to change the sliding and the jumping. It's just insane. It's way too overpowered. Even in Black Ops 3, the sliding had a bar to it. You could slide only a specific amount before you couldn't slide any more. And in Black Ops Cold War, you can slide many times as you want in a gunfight, and it is extremely frustrating because you cannot do anything about it. I don't jump and slide in Call of Duty. I really don't do that, and obviously you could say, well, that's just because you're worse, but no, it's overpowered in the game. It is just so difficult to counteract people. Now, I did see a little bit of a clip of somebody jump shotting, and their accuracy was all over the place, but they need to make the jumping, number one, way slower, and they need to make the sliding have a cap to it. So you can only slide one direction, and you're very slow to the other direction. But as I said, this guy was like flawlessly sliding back and forth, and it was just so frustrating. The movement needs to be toned down a little bit. I don't know what happened to the classic Call of Duty Ghost slide, where you would slide and the gun you wouldn't be able to shoot while sliding, and you would actually move the gun away from the target if you're sliding, so you would kind of get punished for sliding. Sliding has come a long way in Call of Duty, and I would rather have them either bring the Dolphin Dive back or bring a Call of Duty Ghost slide to where it's very slow and you're actually putting yourself at risk for sliding. I don't like the movement and how people take advantage of the movement. It's just a very annoying experience. Obviously, that's skill-based matchmaking, which I'll talk about a little bit later, so they definitely need to tune that as well. Now I'm going to talk about Cartel and Armada, the two maps that I wasn't really the biggest fan of. Number one, the only reason I didn't like Cartel was because it was very big, but that really wasn't the biggest problem I had with Cartel. The biggest problem that I had with Cartel was the dang bushes in the middle of the map. You cannot see through them. It is incredibly difficult to see through those bushes. I mean, an enemy can easily blend in. You have to literally try and just have aim assist help you, or you just have to guess where that enemy is going to go. They either need to, what I wrote down here in my notes is, either make them shorter to where they're easier to see people, or make them more see-through, which obviously would be a graphical thing where you would have to actually tone down the graphics to make them look better. But looking through those bushes was just a absolute pain in the butt. The amount of times I got killed trying to decipher if there was an enemy there or not is just so many times, and those bushes were just a not good addition to the map at all. And even if they got rid of them, the map would play a lot better. I mean, I know why they're there, because the middle of the map is huge, but you need to make it easier to see through those, because the person in the tower in the middle of the map on that camping tower gets a very high advantage on you, and if you're down there in those bushes, it's so difficult to see. I've even gotten kills where enemies can't see me as well, so they definitely need to tone that down as well. And they need to tone down the size of that map for 6v6. The map is a 12v12 and a 6v6 map. That never works. It never ever works in Call of Duty. Stonehaven, for example, in Call of Duty Ghost, that was a 6v6 and a 9v9 map. It's a horribly slow 6v6 map, and it is a perfect 9v9 map, and that's exactly how I feel about Cartel. Cartel is a perfect 12v12 map and a boring, slow, huge map for 6v6. So they either need to tone down Cartel, or they need to just put it in the combined arms domination mode only, because I just did not like the size of Cartel. It was a ginormous map, and I just didn't really enjoy it that much. Now Armada. I don't think is the worst map ever, and I don't really like it that much. I enjoyed it in Combined Arms Assault for the most part. Obviously, I had my bad games, but Combined Arms Assault was the only way I could play that map. Combined Arms Domination is boring, it's slow, it's just huge, it's so hard to see people. People will head glitch on the boat, people will be underneath you, people will be above you. I just really don't like Armada that much. I don't think they'll do any changes to that map, but I probably just won't play it when the game comes out, because I just don't enjoy that map. I don't think it's very good, but that's pretty much all I have to say about the bad maps in the game. Next, the streaks. The streaks in the game are way too weak. The amount of times I've called an attack chopper and it's gotten me 0 kills is way too much. For the score you have to get, before they tone down the score, you had to get 5,000 score to get an attack helicopter, and it got me about 1 kill per use, which is just a complete waste, because I can get through 2 to 4 kills with an artillery every time I use that, and it's about half, and it's a fourth of the score. So number one, they need to change the streaks to be way better. Whether that's making the score higher or not, I don't care. I just want the streaks to be better, because they're way too weak. They feel like Call of Duty Ghost streaks. They just don't do anything. As I said, the artillery is definitely the best streak in the game, which is a shame, because it shouldn't be with how low of a streak it is. I mean, the chopper gunner should be super overpowered like it was in Black Ops 1, and should be just a very good streak, but it's not a good streak at all. And I mean, the chopper gunner gameplay that I got in the game, I got 1 kill with it. I was playing on Moscow, and I got 1 kill with my chopper gunner. That's just not enough not enough kills, not rewarding at all, especially because I had to get 5,000 score to get it, and for it to get 1 kill for me is just frustrating. I mean, I'm not mad and I'm not throwing my controller across the room because I only got 1 kill with it, but it's like, wow, that sucked. I just worked my butt off to get that streak, and it did absolutely nothing. So they definitely need to tweak that. The Chopper Gunner by itself is a great streak. I mean, as I said, in that best game I got on Control, I got a ton of kills with my Chopper Gunner. I was like, this feels like Black Ops 1. But for the most part, the streaks do absolutely nothing. The attack chopper as well, just so you guys know, if you call it in the back of the map where you spawn, it will not move for enemies. It will just stay over there doing absolutely nothing. So you have to be very, very careful. So hopefully with the attack chopper, when the full game comes out, you can either move it like you did a VTOL, or it will just patrol around the map and get kills for you. But again, the streaks were very, very weak, and they were very easy to get shot down. I cannot believe, but 2 YouTubers made videos about the class that you get, the standard custom class that you get when you get to level 1 and 4 that has the RPD, and they showed you destroying a streak instantly with that. I don't know why those YouTubers made those videos, because now people are going to be doing that every single match, which is bad, but that shouldn't be a thing in the first place. They should not make streaks easy to shoot down, especially because they're so freaking hard to get. And I think the reason that they are so hard to get and so hard, and you know, they're not very good when you get them, is because we have the participation trophy streaks. I kind of would like to see them go back to their old system. While I think that the new system is pretty cool and does reward good players, but how can you say that it rewards good players if it just gets shot down instantly and doesn't get any kills? So there's definitely something that they should change with the streaks. They should definitely tweak them a little bit. Obviously, the lowering of the score was a good change, and I really agree with that change. But again, they need to be good. They need to be rewarding. Treyarch has always been very popular for streaks, for good streaks in the game, and I really, really hope that they kind of go back to the drawing board on the streaks, make them very, very good, and make them rewarding, because that is the most fun thing about Call of Duty, and is what separates Call of Duty from every game in the world, is that there's kill streaks that you can earn that do work and destroy everyone. I mean, the Sniper's Nest in Black Ops 4 can easily get me anywhere from 5 to 10 kills per use, and the Chopper Gunner got me maybe 1 kill per use on average, and the attack helicopter, forget it. The amount of times it got me 0 kills is probably 3 out of every 5 or 4 out of every 5 call-ins of that streak. So streaks, they definitely need to be tuned. Now, the most controversial part of this whole video, SBMM. SBMM needs to go. I mean, while I did agree that it felt a little bit more toned down in weekend 2 of the beta, in weekend 1 it was horrible, in the alpha it was horrible, and up until my last 2 hours of the beta, skill-based matchmaking for me seemed a little bit toned down more than it was in the alpha. I didn't have as many people sliding and jumping and playing like nerds as much as I did in weekend 1 of the beta, but still, it's bad. Skill-based matchmaking just does not belong in Call of Duty. I mean, Black Ops 2, they say it has skill-based matchmaking in it. Why can't we bring that back? I mean, Black Ops 2, you would get all varieties of players. You would get good players, you would get bad players, you would get in the middle, and that's just what Call of Duty is more fun like. I don't like trying my best every single game. I like trying a wide variety of weapons. I mean, I actually had to switch to my playstyle. I had to switch my sensitivity in the beta because I just could not compete with these, you know, scuff, G-Fuel snorting nerds using SMGs. I actually had to switch to an assault rifle so I could actually kill people. In the alpha and the beta weekend 1, I was getting very, very frustrated. I almost quit Black Ops Cold War because I just could not kill people. I was playing on my normal 11 sensitivity, my very, very high sensitivity, and I was using SMGs just like I did in Modern Warfare 2019, and I was just getting smoked. I was getting wrecked, and I just hated that. It was just so frustrating. So I switched over to the ARs. I had a lot more fun because I was actually able to kill people. I will definitely be using ARs a lot this year. I just think they're the best weapon class in the game for my playstyle, at least in Black Ops Cold War, which I did adapt to over the 25 hours. But, I mean, maybe this SBMM felt a little bit more toned down because, you know, I got used to the game, I got used to playing it and stuff like that. But again, the skill-based matchmaking was still super, super strict at points, but I feel like they were kind of, I still believe, and I'm really hoping that they were just had the skill-based matchmaking the way it was within Black Ops Cold War, because they were just tuning it around, trying to change it to see what was going on, if it was good, if it was bad, because obviously I can definitely tell you that the skill-based matchmaking between the alpha and weekend 2 of the beta ending, is a lot different. The SBMM in the alpha was just ridiculous. Even in beta weekend 1, the SBMM was kind of crazy. But in weekend 2, it felt a little bit better, and they had more of a lobby balancing system like they had in Black Ops 4, and I hope that when the game comes out they actually have a full-on Black Ops 4 system. For those guys who don't know, Black Ops 4 had a system where they would put one good player on one team, one good player on the other, and the people below those players were a wide variety of players. So for example, sometimes I would get into a lobby where I would be the best player in the lobby, and my teammates would not be that great, and I would lose, which I don't really care about losing too much unless I'm playing an objective game, but that's when I really care about losing. But if I'm playing Kill Confirmed or Dominate or TDM, I don't really care too much about losing. But I like that system much better than having 6 sweats on one team, 6 sweats on the other, and trying your hardest like it was a professional tournament. I don't like that. I'd rather have one good player on one team and a wide variety of players in your lobby, because I mean it's just more fun that way. I never ever will say that I like destroying noobs 24/7, because that gets really boring. For example, I played Call of Duty Mobile the other day on PC, and I was just getting like no deaths, and I was just like, this is boring. I'm not going to play this anymore. So I'm not saying that I don't like competition, because I do like competition. I think it's really fun and adds a lot to the game. But what I don't like is playing 6 sweats every single game. It gets super frustrating, super annoying. And those last couple of games I ended up uninstalling the beta. Obviously it was the day before it was over, but I was just like, this game is not fun when the skill-based matchmaking is super strict. And I just don't like that. So I really hope that they kind of change the SBM a little bit. I don't care if they have it. I really don't care if they have it. But what I want to happen is I want to see it be not as strict as it was in the beta as well as the alpha for anybody. I mean, it's just not fun. Call of Duty is fun because you destroy people and you get your streaks, but it's also fun when you play against good players and you have those close adrenaline filled matches. That's fun, but not every game. It's not fun that way. And overall, SBMM will kill this game. I don't even think noobs like skill-based matchmaking. Even when I was a bad player in Call of Duty, as I've said many times before, even when I was bad, I don't even think I'm that good. I think I'm above average for sure. But even when I was a bad player, I didn't mind getting wrecked. I didn't mind it. If I got a 1 KD, I was like, cool. I did well that match. But, you know, it's a lose-lose situation for anyone. If you're a good player who happens to get if you're a bad player, who happens to get a very good game, luckily, and then the game right after that, you instantly get destroyed. It's just not fun. Skill-based matchmaking is something that needs to be tuned, removed, or put in ranked only. I just don't know why they don't do a ranked mode only. But my final well, actually, I have 2 more bad things to say. The next bad thing is the snipers. While the snipers, for me personally, were very hard to use, I could not use snipers for the life of me in the beta at all. I don't know why, but I just sucked with the snipers. But for other people, I would get smoked by snipers, and it was so frustrating, especially with the higher time to kill compared to Modern Warfare. You are at a disadvantage playing against snipers. In Black Ops 4, this was the same sort of system where you would absolutely light somebody up, and then all of a sudden they would get one lucky quickscope on you and you would die. They need to tune the snipers a little bit, and the one change that Nero Cinema said, and I agreed with him very heavily on it, was just put flinch on the snipers. I know they got rid of flinch for every other weapon, which I really agree with, because no more view kick headshots, but what I don't like is that they didn't put flinch on snipers, because the thing about snipers is that flinch makes them balanced. If you don't put flinch on a sniper rifle, you are at a severe disadvantage against them, especially because if you're good at quickscoping, you are in trouble, because the thing that makes snipers balanced is if you're getting shot at while using a sniper, you have some kick to where your sight goes up, and sure, you may get a lucky annoying headshot, but it's much harder to stay on target. If you have no flinch as a sniper, you can easily quickscope people, and they definitely need to change that as well. And then my last bad thing about the beta is, please, for the love of everything goodness, change the score for domination, hardpoint, and kill confirmed. Domination, you get 50 points for a neutral capture. That is way too low. It's way too low. It makes me not want to capture B. It makes me not want to play the objective until the enemy gets it. If the enemy gets it, cool, I get 200 points for a reward, but they need to make a neutral flag cap more points, and they need to make a kill streak give you more score. I know that they have the score lowered to domination because they don't want score streak spam. That's kind of the goal of this entire game, is to not have score streak spam, but it's too low. I got a handful of choppers in domination, and forget it for kill confirmed. The score is too low and you don't get enough points per kill. And kill confirm, they need to make it be 100 points per tag, 50 points per kill, and as you go on a streak, they need to make it like TDM, in my personal opinion. I think they really need to change the score for objective-based game modes because I have no motivation to capture objectives. I have a little bit more motivation to capture tags and kill confirmed, but domination, forget it. I would rather get triple capped, capture all 3 objectives, get 600 points, than capture a neutral B flag to where I won't only get 50 points, which I can get more for getting a kill. So they definitely need to tune the score on objective game modes for sure. There's just not enough score. And that is all the bad things I have to say. This is a very, very long video. I apologize. I've been talking for way, way too long. I apologize. But now I wanted to talk about, for the last little bit of this video, I'll try and race through this as quick as possible. My voice is dying. But there are some things that I'm worried about the final launch of the game, and there are 3 things that I have written down here. The first thing is the prestige system question mark. Now, I made a video last weekend talking about the prestige system and how I believe it's going to be returning, which I still believe to this day. But then I watched a video from Nero once again, and he said that they're going to switch it up between now and launch. Why? Why? You already have the rank up system in the game. Why would you change it? Why would we go from somewhere else to a different type of ranking up system when you literally already have prestige system within the game? I mean, I don't know how hard it is to make an emblem for prestige, but I feel like that's a lot easier than completely overhauling the entire rank up system for something like Modern Warfare. I really, really hope that they go back to the prestige system in this game, because again, that is how I play Call of Duty. If they put the skill, or if they put prestige system in the game, I will automatically put more time into this game than I put in Modern Warfare. I have about 8 days played in Modern Warfare, and for comparison, I have 18 days in Black Ops 4. Why? What's the difference? Well, obviously I enjoy Black Ops 4 a lot better than Modern Warfare, but there's also Prestige system, which adds a grind factor to the game for me personally. Sure, you could say Modern Warfare 2019 is the most grindable Call of Duty game ever made. I mean, there's Damascus camo, there's weapon levels, there's yada yada yada, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same as getting up to level 55, prestiging 10 times, and then going for level 1000. There's just nothing like that system in Modern Warfare that makes me want to play. I mean, I haven't really touched Modern Warfare in about a couple of weeks. I mean, I played a little bit of Warzone yesterday, but the game doesn't feel as grindable to me. If there was a prestige system in Modern Warfare, I might have actually grinded up to Master Prestige in that game, but there wasn't, so I just don't have the motivation to play. You can't not get me into a game with 155 levels. There's just no reward factor in that for me. When you prestige, however, I believe that there is a reward system with that. I mean, getting prestige 1, obviously you show off that icon. Getting the prestige master, you also show off that icon. But I hope that if they do put the prestige system in there, which I really hope they do, I hope that they give you some prestige rewards as well. But again, I'm worried about the prestige system not returning for sure, because I know that if there is no prestige system, I probably won't play the game that much. Just saying, just to be, to get that out of the way. If there's no prestige system, I will not put as much time as I put into Black Ops 4 in Black Ops Cold War. Next, the future of combined arms in Warzone. I am actually really, really worried about this, because in Black Ops 4 and in Modern Warfare, multiplayer was kind of thrown under the rug a little bit. Especially in Black Ops 4, they constantly updated Blackout, they constantly did a lot of things to Blackout, and multiplayer, they gave us 2 multiplayer maps per operation, and that was pretty much it. Modern Warfare is the exact same thing. They gave us a couple multiplayer maps per season, which is great and all, but the last event for Modern Warfare, the Haunting of Verdansk, no effect on multiplayer whatsoever. They didn't put a new map in. All they did was give us a couple of modes, and who cares about game modes? So I'm worried. And also with Combined Arms, by them sort of making a Battlefield type game mode for Black Ops Cold War, while I do enjoy Combined Arms Assault, I will say that Battlefield isn't Call of Duty, and I actually got bored playing Combined Arms because I'm like, this doesn't feel like Call of Duty. I want to play 6v6 Call of Duty. And, Combined Arms is great, and it's a fun mode, but I don't want to play Call of Duty Battlefield. I want to play Call of Duty, and I want to play Battlefield. I am a Battlefield player as well. I've played multiple Battlefield games, but I think the reason that Call of Duty is making Battlefield type game modes is because they want the Battlefield community to move over to Call of Duty, because as you guys know, Battlefield 5 was a massive, massive flop. It was one of the worst Battlefield games ever received, one of the worst selling Battlefield games ever. So I believe that Call of Duty, with the ground war mode within Modern Warfare and the combined arms mode within Black Ops Cold War, they are trying to get the Battlefield community over to Call of Duty. And again, 6v6 multiplayer is slowly getting pushed farther and farther and farther under the rug, and I'm very, very worried about that, because if they don't update multiplayer that much, multiplayer will die, and Warzone will be the most mainstream thing. And I will actually quit Call of Duty, because I cannot play Warzone, and I don't want to play combined arms forever. So if they forget about multiplayer, 6v6 multiplayer for this year again, and it's just not multiplayer, just forgotten about, I will slowly but surely start to move over to a different shooter game, because I just cannot stand 6v6 being thrown under the rug. So I'm worried about that, but hopefully they continue to update multiplayer a lot, add a lot of maps, add a lot of stuff like that, and try and get them all included and kind of update everything equally. And then last but not least, my last worry is super strict SBMM at launch. If the SBMM is in Black Ops Cold War day one when the game comes out, like it was in the alpha, I will quit. I won't play Call of Duty this year very much. I can't stand super strict skill-based matchmaking. I can handle skill-based matchmaking to a degree. Like in Modern Warfare, I can handle it. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I can at least handle it. The alpha SBMM, I could not handle whatsoever. It was terrible. It was not fun. So they really need to have a different skill-based matchmaking system come launch of the game, or I won't be able to play that. But the final rating I will give Black Ops Cold War's multiplayer at this current moment is a 7.5 out of 10. It's not the best Call of Duty game ever. It's not the worst Call of Duty game ever, but it's definitely kind of average. It's like, okay, it's an average Call of Duty game. It's not bad. It's not horrible, or it's not horrible. It's not the best Call of Duty ever, but it's alright. It's playable, and that's definitely something that Modern Warfare, that I can't say for Modern Warfare. But is it as good as Black Ops 4? Good as Black Ops 4? I can already say no to that. So anyway, guys, that is going to do it for my final review of the beta. I had no idea I would be talking for half an hour about Black Ops Cold War, but alas, here we are. I'm starting to make Nero's videos here. But anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I would really love to see what you guys thought about the Black Ops Cold War beta. I really enjoyed it for the most part. Obviously, there's some bad things that they need to work on, but overall, I am very excited for the game to come out on November 13th. Again, I will have everything from multiplayer, campaign, zombies, everything come the launch of the game on November 13th, and I'm very excited to see how they change things and what the full game will have for us, all the maps, all the kill streaks. I'm just so excited for this game to come out. But anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, a like rating was appreciated. If you want to check out my previous Black Ops Cold War video from Monday, I had a gameplay using the final SMG that you could unlock within the beta, and I also had a video talking about Prestige, or I had a QBZ gameplay the day before that, so I'll also leave that at the end of the video. And I will see you guys all in another Black Ops Cold War video and another Evolution of Call of Duty video very soon.